Hi. Well, here I am in my new spot for preaching and presiding. As we finally get back together to regather for in-person worship at Grace Church, right here near the back of the choir area is where I'm going to be standing rather than in the pulpit. Because as we've measured out this space, we know that this is the spot where I can be to still have plenty of distance between me and the people in the pews. This is just one of the many ways that we are thinking differently about how we use our space, how we sit and move through our space so that people who come back to worship can be as safe as possible. Now, I know during this time when we've had to be apart, we have been bearing more challenges than we could have ever imagined. To say that even is an understatement. We've been in a midst of times of uncertainty, of worry, isolation, disappointment, grieving hopes and plans and things we had imagined, even grieving the loss of people that we love, bearing all this at a time where everything continues to change quicker than we could ever have imagined. And I also know that people are longing then to come back to grace, to a place like this that can be uplifting and loving and familiar. And so since I know that some of the ways we'll be setting up our space and some of the ways we'll be doing things will be a bit different from before, I'm aware that that also comes with it a little bit of grief, perhaps some stress or anxiety, wondering, how will I know where to go? How will I know what to do? What will it be like? And so as we have been designing this plan, the vestry, the safety team, we have been wanting to make sure that we think through not only all of the safety protocols and provisions that are so vital for us, but also how this can be a welcome back that is as warm and welcoming as possible in a time of social distancing. This video is a glimpse so that you can have an idea of what it will look like, where to go, what to do when you get here, so at least that won't be such a surprise, or you won't have to spend your time worrying about what you might not know. Nobody needs that extra anxiety. Instead, this video will tell you a bit about how to prepare to come to worship, from how to sign up in advance, where to go when you get here, and how to look to the safety stewards who will guide you through what you'll need to experience the worship here in a way that's the safest for you. Remember too, everybody coming back to Grace Church, those of us leading, people helping as safety stewards, and everybody coming to worship on our grounds and in our buildings must wear a mask over our mouths and noses. And I know that these are not necessarily comfortable or convenient, but I know that they're part of the way that we are planning to show that this is how we love one another. A mask that not only protects me from what I might breathe in, but certainly protects you from what you might breathe in from me. And so this is part of what we do as we continue this way of life together. I hope this puts your mind at ease a bit. I hope it gets you feeling excited about coming back to worship in the building here at Grace Church. And we really look forward to seeing you from the eyeballs up.
The first step in planning to attend worship at Grace Church is to call to sign up. Everybody planning to attend worship must register in advance at this time. Karen Murdoch is ready to hear from you and help you. You can reach her at 856-429-0007. Karen's taking calls to sign up for worship on Wednesdays 9 to 3 and Thursdays 9 to 12 in that week just before the weekend where you're hoping to come on Sunday. Because of limited seating with social distancing, and because we must know that we can be in touch with you in the event of contact tracing, Karen will verify the number of people in your household who plan to attend. She'll ask you a few questions, and she'll have a few reminders to help you plan as well. Some of those reminders include things like staying home if you don't feel well, always remembering to bring your mask, paying attention to travel advisories or quarantines if you've been out of state, and planning ahead because we're asking people to use the restroom at home before they come to church. When you arrive at Grace Church, know that to enter the church, everybody will be using the front entrance on Kings Highway. Even if you park out back in the municipal lot near the Patco line, please use the gardens to go around towards the front door of the church. Our parish house will be closed at this time. As you approach the front lawn or the sidewalk in front of the church, you'll see a safety steward there ready to assist you. You'll also notice we've got markers in place to help you remember to maintain that 6 feet at least of distance between households. We're going to open the doors 10 minutes prior to worship, so if you do show up a few minutes early, please just wait outside and keep that mask on at all times. Once the doors open, each household will check in with another safety steward. They'll mark you as arrived. They'll make sure you've got your masks and ask you a few simple questions to help ensure that we're creating as safe a space as possible. The check-in steward will then direct you up a particular aisle to the next person who's ready to help you. They'll be standing right where your pew is ready for you. Your bulletin will be in place. They'll be seating people as they arrive from front to back. When you're in the worship space, you'll notice a few different things, such as hand sanitizer stations ready for you, partitions to protect our musicians, and the socially distanced seating between households. While we won't be shaking hands, it's still perfectly fine to turn around and wave. The worship service will be about 30 minutes. We're not quite yet introducing communion, but we will have live music, even though not singing, as well as readings and prayers and a short sermon. At the end of worship, everyone will exit out the back door. We'll actually guide you out aisle by aisle to flow smoothly, leaving from front to back, so we don't create a logjam in the back hallway. You'll also notice as you go that that's when you can drop your offering in an offering plate, and we'll ask you to take your bulletin with you and go ahead and recycle it at home. On the way out, you'll see one more hand sanitizer station for you. We want to make sure that we're sending you out to spread the gospel and no germs. And in all seriousness, we really do hope that this time of being together in worship will have strengthened you for the ways that you will be a witness to God's love in the coming week. The first teams of safety stewards have been trained and they are ready to welcome you. This is also a ministry that you might want to consider as you get more comfortable coming back to worship at Grace.